This demonstration is attaching a Windows 2016 server to a ME4 iSCSI array. Before we begin, it is important to understand the layout. The ME4 has 4 iSCSI ports on each controller. The iSCSI ports are cabled redundantly to 2 different switches dedicated to iSCSI traffic. Ports 0 and 2 are on one subnet, while ports 1 and 3 are on the second subnet. The server has 2 10 gig NICs dedicated for iSCSI traffic. Prior to starting the deployment, all IPs should be defined on a planning worksheet to avoid any confusion. To help better identify individual ports, I use a standard format for the IP schema. Let's take a look at it. First, I use a Class B subnet and use either 1 or 2 in the second octet to signify what subnet it is in. I also use a 1 or 2 on the first digit of the third octet to identify what controller the port is on. In addition, the last octet matches the controller's management IP. You can see here all ports are on controller A have a 1 and end in 128, matching the management port. For ports on controller B, the third octet starts with 2 and the fourth octet matches the management port IP of 129. Finally, the third digit of the third octet is the port number. If this had been a dual protocol system with both fiber channel and iSCSI, there would only be 2 ports in each subnet, not 4. After reviewing your worksheet, it's time to cable the server and assign IPs to the NICs. After the cabling is complete, open Network Connections. I rename the NICs to better identify them. We aren't using IPv6 on the iSCSI network, so I'll disable IPv6 and assign an IPv4 address for each subnet. I'm not replicating to another subnet, so I won't need a gateway. I'll repeat for the second NIC. I recommend pinging all IPs on the iSCSI network. This simple step can prevent hours of frustration later troubleshooting connectivity issues. I'm not going to demonstrate ping here, but I have tested all IPs. Next step is to install and configure MPIO. This will take 2 reboots. First is installing MPIO. Open Server Manager, then Add Roles and Features. Click Next, Next, Next until you get to Features. Scroll down to Multipath I/O, select it, then click Next. Click Install, then click Close and Reboot when completed. After the server reboots, open Server Manager and click Tools, then MPIO. Click on Discover Multipaths. Select Add Support for iSCSI devices, then click the Add button, and yes. The server will now reboot again. Next is configuring the iSCSI initiator. Open Server Manager, click on Tools, then iSCSI Initiator. The first time iSCSI Initiator is run, you will need to click Yes to have it start automatically when the server reboots. Click on the Discovery tab, then Discovery Portal. Use your planning worksheet and add the IP of one of the ports on controller A that's on the first subnet. If you copy and paste, make sure there are no spaces after the IP address. Repeat adding a second portal from the other subnet and choose a port from controller B. Click on the Targets tab, highlight the discovered target and click Connect. Select Enable Multipath and click Advanced. Change the local adapter from default to Microsoft iSCSI Initiator, then select the IP for the first iSCSI NIC. Next, in the Target Portal IP, choose the first IP listed in the same subnet. Click OK and OK. Repeat 3 more times for the first NIC, connecting to all ports on the first subnet. After the first NIC is complete, repeat for the second NIC, connecting to all its targets on that subnet. After all connections are made, you can click on the Favorite Targets tab to see each path. If you click Details, you can see specific information about each path. Next is running the Host Setup Wizard. Log into the ME Storage Manager. On the home page, click on Action, then Host Setup. Confirm you have met all the prerequisites and click Next. Type a name for the host name. Typically you would use the real host name. I'm just going to use Windows Server 1. Select the initiator and click Next. If this is going to be part of a cluster, you can either create a new host group or add to an existing one. This will be a standalone server, so I'm selecting Do Not Group This Host. Click Next to continue. By default, 2 100 gig lines will be created, one in each pool. I recommend renaming the volume to include the server's names. You can edit the size, change pool ownership, add and remove the number of volumes to create. When you have the volumes how you want them, click Next. Review and click Configure Host. Click Yes or No depending if you have another host ready to be configured. In most cases, you will click No. Open Disk Manager and rescan disk. Right-click on the new disk and bring it online. Right-click on it again and choose Initialize Disk. Right-click on the unallocated space and follow the wizard to format the volume. Go back into the iSCSI initiator and click on Auto Configure. That completes this demo. The volume is now accessible to the server with multipathing configured.